Hello, hi, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet, brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Blessing. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Libra. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. It's a delight and an honor and a privilege to serve. Thank you for allowing me the pleasure to do so. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Oh, the orientation is a bit off. I can't worry about that right now. Well, let's just get in here, fit in here, and see what we got going on. If you're new, welcome. As I said, if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. Vertex of Abundance is the Galactic Temple of Ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. There's a little bit of housekeeping. There's a way to increase the playback speed. Sometimes the reading goes too slow. Sometimes it's a little bit too long. So somewhere in the show note, sometimes the about section or the description box, there's also a link to a summary or description. It'll be between the Hamza hands. It's usually there, not always there. And then if you do increase the playback speed, it doesn't actually change what the time says, but since it's playing faster, you can reduce the reading up to 1/2. We will be using the Thoth Tarot. That's by Aleister Crowley, illustrated by Lady Frida Harris. And I'm getting lots of different energies. So during Cancer season, when we have an event going on in Libra, it is a fourth house event. So the event that we're having is a lunation. That means it's a lunar event, a moon event. Which means we'll have increased insight, intuition into the areas of the fourth house, which is where we go to nurture ourselves, like the mother's bosom. I won't say any other words, but we do get sustenance and nurturance there, but it's typically within ourselves. It could also be within the confines of the home, even the little private sections like the vanity where we kind of put on our makeup, put on our face, check the mirror, or some of us have like a hangout spot. Some people like to hang out in the kitchen. Some people like to hang out, if they have like a large walk-in closet or something. Also, it could be the inside of the car. As I said, it's where we go for privacy and to post up, rest up, also to gain security and comfort. So it brings in the energy of the mother. It brings in the energy of the motherhood. Also, like that's if you have children. It can also talk about places like the alma mater, not so much hometown, but alma mater, whether it's the school you went to, elementary, preschool, finishing school, high school, not so much college, but it's like development or rest to return to stasis. Okay. And, as I was meditating to get into this reading, I was hearing that, butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. It got Shaka Khan. I know she remade the song, and I think it's Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow, I can do anything. Yeah, so I can go anywhere, I can be anything, do anything. So I'm getting that. And that to me is like what a mother tells her son, like, you're bright, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you can do anything you want, even be president. Like, Some culturally we know some parents say that, but generally it's like I'm getting a couple things here. Only your mama can love you is one of those things, which is not so kind. And then the other thing is like I heard this, and I know it's not universal, it's not absolute, but when your parent dies, that's the only person that loved you unconditionally. A wife, a spouse, they choose you. That's a different story. And I know it's not absolute, so it's more of the meaning behind it than the technicalities of it. But a lot of times, we could argue a point. It's not universal. It's not absolute. I understand. Not every parent is unconditionally loving of their child, and just because it doesn't mean that only a parent can be unconditionally loving. I understand that, but I'm hearing like I think that's why this reading rainbow is coming up. We have a Libra moon. Okay, this is going to be a quicker reading. Thank the goddess. Okay, so we have the we have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Cups clarifying this Empress card. If you haven't met Priestess Chandi, say hi. Baba's working, sweetheart. You gotta sit down, okay? What did I tell you? Baba's working. So the eights and the threes go together. The Empress is a three, and pardon the camera angle. It's just that we have baby girl here. So the Empress is that energy of taking all of the surrounding environment, location, and finding harmony in it, which could be beauty, harmony, order, etc., whatever, what have you, so on and so forth. It's really genuinely, sincerely nurturing and creative energy because there's gestation and conception there. It's the material side of spiritual affairs, which is clarified, as I said, from the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords with the Empress is shielding. A lot of other times it'd be legal proceedings, whether it's a spiritual karmic function or an actual court proceeding. We're going to be using the daily oracle by Veda Sibilla to clarify any corresponding or correlative energies. You have the Seven of Cups here with the Empress, which talks about mohini, enchantment, whether it's an illusion, some kind of incantation, spell work. It also is that we're shielded, Eight of Swords. Energy can't really get to us unless it assails the mountain, it climbs the summit. It also has a necessity to get to an energy frequency vibration. So I'm getting the energy that the goddess was saying, like, okay, nobody can touch my baby, nobody can come forth along the path, can approach, can encroach down the path to my divine child, my chosen one, unless they hit all these standards and boundaries. Okay, so again, that reading rainbow song is like, a mother's love, right? It's the goddess, and Shaka Khan is mother. She's one of our aunties. She's a goddess. She's a queen. So I'm understanding what this means. I don't know how to convey this because all I want to do is just start singing mantras and you know bhakti. I want to just praise the goddess in devotion, and it's one of those goddesses where really you shouldn't approach her too much outside of ritual, outside a certain day, unless you're one of her children, because this is one of those goddesses that are so adjacent to Maya. And I'm not saying anything disparaging here. Please don't misunderstand. Um, it's more about like God is ineffable, God is unfathomable. But the more you try to describe, the further away it is. All we really know is that it's unborn, undying, unfathomable, right? It's not manifest. So this is one of those energies because, a real goddess, a real queen, she's difficult to perceive. You may understand one or a few of the forms she takes on. The goddess is the ocean, the goddess is the earth, the goddess is fertility, is mother, the goddess is sustenance, nurturance. But do you really ever understand the goddess? And so this is the Seven of Cups with the Empress card. It's more about like, okay, we have self-worth and value, but we also have, high worth because we're chosen, blessed, favored, and anointed. And in order to ascend, in order to approach, there's some kind of need for spiritual principles, practices, whether it's going by the book, status quo, policy, procedures, protocols, come in correct. Well, it might be rules, regulations, restrictions, or you will be restrained and wrangled down in some kind of way, shape, form, or another, is what I'm picking up on. Take a look, it's in a book, it's reading rainbow. So that tells me, like, well, the Bible, and I'm not talking about the actual book. Basic instructions before leaving Earth is what I'm actually saying. It is written, it is somewhere in the mysteries, it is somewhere in the oral teachings of our elders, the way to kind of, assail the summit, climb the mountain. And really what that is the colors of the rainbow, the different frequencies, energies, vibrations, the chakras, the gates to ascension and awakening. That's what I'm getting. So let's break this down a little bit. We're in Cancer season. It's the month of the ancestors. Cancer is mostly the mother's womb, but we call it the ancestral root. Same with Leo, but that's more on the paternal side. Uh, Secondly, because Oshun is really, Chamba, Venus is strong in Cancer energy. And a lot of us say, oh, but Venus rules Libra, Venus rules. Okay, maybe we have a transiting moon in Libra right now. So that makes us, during Cancer season, we have a fourth house event. So I told you about, increased insight, increased intuition into all the little, mother's bosom, taking a little bit of space and security from the world, finding harmony, finding peace, finding balance, finding security, finding calm, finding comfort. Okay, but how do we do that? Libra energy. Shared needs, not shared emotional needs, that's eighth house, but mutually beneficial, nourishing needs exchange, agreements, contracts, vows, and oaths. Okay, so now this Hierophant, La Papa, makes sense. And the Hierophant is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Let's see what this Mohini combination means. Seven of Cups with the Empress means Mohini. Okay, so delirante, which means delirium. We could have missed the situation and been acting stupid, looking stupid, being stupid. I don't really know. I don't really want to say that, but that is a possibility. Now, it would mean that up until recently, because we did hit the Holy Grail, we got to the heart of the matter. There's something here worthy, McWorthy, valuable to protect and nurture. And there needs to be a conscientious and intentionality around gaining access, casa, pensiero, because it's a union with the divine. To, I'm thinking of the Mayan dream spell. I am a galactic activation portal into me. Okay, well, you need to be initiated for that. You need to be initiated for that. This is what I'm getting. I hope this is transmitting. Because we're on the path towards La Papa Hierophant. Okay, so God duties, obligations, sacred office, oaths, vows, teachings based off tradition, something organized, something known, whether it's known through the tribal library of oral teachings, whether it's known through a book, a history book, textbook, religious book, whatever, what have you, whether it comes to the colonizer, controller, mother, daddy, teacher, preacher, science book, history books, religious books, right? It's known. It's usually some type of formalized tradition or structured community. And I'm hearing the word comunita. So, like I was saying, alma mater, where do we come from? Alma mater, mater as a mother. Because there is going to be some creative new beginning here, and it's going to happen within a week. But it says that over the last few weeks, and it'll culminate around the full moon, which is in Sagittarius, by the way. We're going to find this teaching or take this oath or vow or step into this formalized whatever. We're going to basically learn how to come correct, because this is less so learning, but it can be one of the learning combinations. It's usually through karma, through difficulty. You have to second guess yourself, confront yourself, get up off yourself, get up over yourself with that energy. And then we have a double Venus here too, and we have Venus here. So let's do another one. But this other Venusian energy is not quite us. It's basically saying that only those who can recognize our value, only those who can see our worth, like recognizes like, real recognizes real. Okay, speranza. It's because we have hope, faith, optimism, but we've also cultivated ourselves. Cultivate means to, culture means to cultivate, to take what we've been given and bring it to its highest vibration outcome. Again, balance, law, order, harmony, beauty. It, I hear what I'm saying. I don't know if you do. I don't know how to translate it. That's on me, not you. So let's move on. So we have the Page of Swords and Page of Cups clarifying the Emperor. So it is God and Goddess. Okay. Or the divine masculine, divine feminine, or the sacred flame and the red flame of life. Okay. And then we have the indigo flame here too. Or excuse me, the violet flame. So, ooh, we got it. We got it. We got it. Got it right now. What's up? What's up? Okay. So, first of all, we have a double page. We'll be using the minor arcana from the Cosmic Coven Oracle to deliberate the finding and clarify the meanings for any type of pairing energy. So right now we have a double page. 3 pages usually means studente, learning. So we're being prepared to understand the acumen that we've received already or gain in some type of practical skill. We're being invited to go down the journey to learn a way of being. Not that we are already doing well, it just might be a higher octave, especially if the Hierophant came out. It means there might be more on the table than we were aware of. And if we were informed and instructed, at least if we decided to go a different route, we'd be making an informed decision. I think the goddess, the Lord, the divine would be remiss if we didn't at least know the ins and outs or the nature of a situation. Now we have the, because something's at the precipice, something's at the gate, trying to come through, pull through, trying to cross the threshold. And we also have the Page of Cups and the Death card, which means some kind of Scorpio energy. Typically, that would be Taurus rising. We did have the Hierophant here. And it's saying here that we actually have, we are destined, star card, to be some type of authority, wise authority, a wisdom, essentially. Somebody in a position of authority or wise counsel when it comes to higher minded. Basically, the Hierophant uses wisdom to construct system structures and foundation. The Emperor uses self governance, self mastery, rule, and regulation to form system structures and foundations. Same with the Empress, but she uses love, harmony, and beauty to form system structures and foundations. So, what's up? Because this speranza, this hope, faith, optimism that we're looking for, was saying, and we'll move on to the next one, that something is matured already, and we're gonna need to know what this linchpin is, this grazia, the power, because things can get really bad or really good with a knowledge and understanding. And then let's check on the Scorpio energy here. So the ancestors are talking, and not all of the ancestors talking are good ancestors. This is not the fully enlightened, fully benevolent, the ones that crossed over into the white light. It's all of them, the good, bad, and the ugly, and the Nick ugly, the Nick nasty. It's all of the ancestors. So again, there's always an invitation to light, invitation to dark, is what I'm sensing here. And we need to make a wise choice, a wise decision. And that just means we need to be well informed. Because the Page of Swords, Eight of Swords means feeling constricted. We might have been held back a little bit, slowed down a little bit, set down even. I'm hearing that. Sit yo down. So we got the ancestors here today. Culturally, we might understand what I mean. You know, a hard head means a soft. Okay. So we Emperor star card means we're destined to have some type of rulership authority, and we do need to become self-mastered, self-directed, because we're going to come into this mastery through learning about a supreme authority. That's what the pages do, they learn. It also means we're being prepared by the divine to receive some type of technical skill or supreme authority, but we're on the journey to learning our technical skill. And then we also have the chosen child here with the Page of Cups, meaning we're being prepared to receive some type of spiritual blessing. We're also on the journey to discover our authentic self, our genuine nature. And those will eventually come into mastery. Let me tell you, they will eventually come into mastery. So we also have this yeah, somebody else here is a Taurus rising. Somebody else here is a Venus in the eighth house, the seventh house, or in Scorpio, which means they might see things about us that we don't see about ourselves. They might expect things from us that haven't been said out loud, and some conflicts can come because there might be something exploitative. They might be seizing upon us. They might have hidden agendas, ulterior motives. Definitely a strategy with the Seven of Pentacles. And I'm hearing that so strong. Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Yeah, and you know what? There's a tactic out there, which means when we're distressed, when we're in despair, it's boundary erosion. That's what I'm getting. Because there is the need to defend our position, to defend our spot. And also, somebody here could be an Aries moon to a lesser degree. Capricorn rising. Okay, so those people, and I'm not saying good or bad, the Capricorn risings, their energy, frequency, vibration is attuned to leverage. Capricorn is one of the signs of the keeper. They're best to keep artifacts and scrolls. Like the taxman of the zodiac. Saturn ruled, of course. And so they impose structure, discipline, order. Because there's some type of transition here. And we definitely have Taurus, Scorpio axis, which traditionally is the traditionally is the wheel of fortune. So I misspoke. The star card came out before it was supposed to. So we have a double five now, clarifying the star card. So the star card is hope, faith, optimism, guided by sight, guided by faith, not by sight, believing in a bigger, brighter, better future. So looking up above the stars, looking up towards the stars above the horizon into the future. We have the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords. So the Five of Cups is crab in a bucket. So if it's a collective situationship here, we're around energies that will sabotage our ascent. And that's what I'm getting. Okay. I don't know how else to say it. That's what's coming through. We're around energies, entities, ideologies that might try to sabotage our ascent, our come up, our growth. There might also be some type of false light here. That's the thing with the Five of Swords and the Star card. It might try to like I said, sabotage our growth. And with the false light, something may want, because the Queen of Wands was out here before, and honestly, they're needing to contain a situation because there's something to build here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got, okay, it talks about the divine kingdom, never mind. And it seems like every hand we're getting doubles. So a pair of fives means depletion, decline, destabilization. It can be a loss. Because there's false light here. So our light illuminates and exposes energies, entities around us that are even ideologies that are not in alignment. There may be counterfeit hierophant, prophets, messiahs, seers, counterfeit thrones, essentially, counterfeit leaders. And just through our energy, frequency, vibration, just through our aura, our light, when coming into the environment, it might expose them. See, the Five of Swords in the Star card is also Venus in the 11th house or in Aquarius, but it's also neti, dividing the truth from illusion, dividing milk from water. It will expose false light. That's the protocol. So let's see what this pair of fives is about. Okay, so Five of Cups, Five of Cups. So Five of Cups is dealing with disappointment. It's mourning, it's grieving, it's needing to accept defeat in certain circumstances. It's crying over spilled milk because something might be majorly embittered, something might be depressive, something might be undesirable, but also again, there's a containment situation here, Four of Swords. Something might have been concussed. There's a need for convalescence here because it was traumatic or there was an energetic barrier and the need now is to quarantine. Because I saw the Four of Cups peak out really quickly and then we have the Eight of Cups. So that's withdrawal because there's something here eager to, it's like a targeting energy, which is backfiring. Somebody's been living in the dark because they're a clout chaser. And when we come around, it reminds them of their true authentic self, which isn't on the level. And they also feel exposed, even if we're not directing our energy towards them, just in the environment, surrounding location, they feel some kind of way. That's an ego proposition. I hope they work that out. I'm going to be kind about it. Let's check also this Five of Swords with the star card, that's false light. Maritata, Dona Maritata is nurturing. We have something that we're doing. So the Imperatrice came out before. We have all of the flames here. Red flame of life, that could also be this strength card. The sacred flame and the violet. So there's an energy trying to work with us, trying to get on our bandwagon or our coattails so they can engage or implant some type of device because they recognize that we're kind of brand new or we come off brand new. And it's not, this Fanchula is not really the virgin about chastity. It means a lack of experience. We may not know all of the calling on our life, all of the light that we hold, but some kind of energy, entity, ideology around us feels some kind of way because they are sitting in some kind of knowing mystery. They're aware of some mystery, but here's what's going on with them. Their powers are breaking down and depleting. Death card in the priestess means that your intuition is not working or your powers are draining. And we do have a double five here. So there's some kind of meticulously curated narrative or some type of burden somebody's carrying and they need to lay it down. And they have been doing it for a long time. And this is coming off from the other side. The Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands is clarifying this High Priestess. Now we have the Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups, another double. And the King of Wands, Three of Wands with the Four of. So this is about building a platform, a pulpit. And now we have the final flame. We have the red thread of life, we have the sacred flame, the violet flame, and now we have the indigo flame. So that means we're not just a flame keeper, which is one of the flames, we're a flame warden. Because we have all of them here. We may also be a celestial priestess, meaning we have direct access to one of the creators of the universe. We call her the galactic sovereign, one of the sovereigns who literally manage the operations of the universe. And we're on this journey from the magician to the justice card. And what that means is that we're moving into supreme alignment, number one. Number two, the justice card also is a verification of skill. It would mean that we've passed all the tests with flying colors. The only other two cards that would mean that would be the judgment card, the justice card, or the temperance. All of them are winged. So I'm going to skip a little bit ahead and then track back. Clarifying this justice card is the King of Wands and the Three of Wands, meaning we're wanting some type of expansion, franchise, purchase. We're wanting clearance. I'm hearing the coast to be clear, but we want the runway to be empty. We want the dock to be open so something could birth. And clarifying this magician is the Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups, which means previously we had the Ten of Wands. There was some type of, I'm going to be honest, it was hell conditions. Somebody was carrying a burden. It wasn't us. We've gone through an ordeal, Ten of Swords. There might have been betrayal. I don't think so. I feel like it's the light emerging after, it's the dawn after the dusk. It's like we were in the dark. We didn't know everything. We were kind of disillusioned. If there was some type of betrayal, it was more of a breakdown that was caused or, by another energy, entity, ideology. And that breakdown led us to a breakthrough. But what I'm feeling is like we can see the light, we can see the sign, we can read all the writing on all the walls now. We can see it all now. And that's a full manifestation cycle as well. A pair of tens with the magician. is a full culmination of a cycle. So let's clarify this Three of Wands with the King of Wands. So this is the calling in our life, or the thing calling us in. This is something that wants to come out, amante. Amatrice here too. So in the future, we will be able to give medicine to others. We have a calling on our life. That's period, pump, blank, end of story. It's finally time for this thing to emerge, or for the cycle to shift and to change. So we were kind of cupcaking it along, alegría. It was a little bit trivial, contrivial, contrived is what I mean. Because we're very chosen, twice blessed here with amante, amatrice. I'm hearing the word doctoressa, so we get some type of expert knowledge here. And we have the king of clubs, fifth, and the king of wands here. So it's like some of the cards have been repeating. We've been getting doubles a lot. What's coming through is our mastery, because not we master, we get adept in our practical skill by mastering our direct desires, passions, motivation. Once we know who we are, what we're about, all these other things happen. And then we have the King of Wands again. So all three decks, both clarifiers and this one, King of Wands. Okay. So King of Wands up, and then the Queen of Pentacles is back. So that's our practical skill, because we're learning Page of Swords. Okay, so we get a lot of repeaters. Destiny is calling, and the ancestors is pushing it through. We're also getting some type of ancestral approval here. Three of Wands is a clearance card. Because there's like a homecoming, there's a return. Could we have some type of pulpit, a throne, a platform, and it's spiritually ordained? And it also was given to us by God. We were chosen for it, Six of Wands. So we're starting a new chapter because we finished the old one, but it was not just a chapter, it was a whole cycle. It was ordeal a little bit. We had to burn off karma from previous lifetimes. And also we were attacked or targeted in this lifetime in a way that was always behind the scenes. It was always there, but what it gave us was full access to the eternal kingdom, Ten of Cups. It's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me to do so. I'm going to just say a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional love and universal oneness. We love you, we're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We ask that you illuminate our path and order our steps, and that we find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May we be well, may we be happy, may we be at peace, may we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dandava, and ashe. Sayonara, das vidanya, avida zane. Take good care. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.